Right, so I'm still waiting for cushion fills for this sofa behind me, but they should be in today, fingers crossed. Get that delivered back tomorrow. So anyway, we've got stuff to be getting on with, or I have been getting on, and as you can see, there's these 3 chairs here that are ripped up, and lovely little antique chairs, and there's one up on my bench there that you're going to join me with whilst I rip that up. It's quite time consuming. I've got to be careful. I don't want to be damaging the woodwork. So I'm going to get on with them. Hopefully the cushions are here for the sofa. I can get that stuffed and back to the customer. Promised them tomorrow. So there you go. So let's put the camera up and you can join me whilst I'm ripping up these sofas. We can see how, well, chairs even, we can see how long it takes the pair of us. Okay. Okay, so I'll try and keep you in shot all the time. It's going to take a little while. I may time lapse this, I'm not sure yet. But here we have the seat. The old fabric and webbing and so on all needs to come off. All these individual nails around the edge here, and we need to strip it back to get it to look like this one here. So then we can rebuild it. Oh. So I'm just using my staple lifter to prise up the studs. There's, just for reference, there's approximately in a metre of studding, 1,000 studs. Sorry, 100 studs. Sorry, get me decimal points in the right place. These ones have been well and truly hammered home. It's making it a bit difficult to get them out, but they're coming. Don't want to be slipping with the lifter and scratching the woodwork. Unfortunately, it does happen, but I can touch up the damaged polish with a little bit of stain if necessary, and some lacquer, shellac lacquer. Oh, I've got a new toy in the workshop. Probably not something I should have bought, to be honest. It's probably just going to make things worse. But I've got a thermometer in the workshop. I was curious about the temperature difference in here, summer and winter. It varies greatly. I'll just have a look and tell you what it is today. It's 14 degrees Celsius, which is approximately 58 degrees Fahrenheit. There you go. There's nails get all over the floor and stuck in the soles of his shoes and everywhere. But strangely enough, my dogs, the ones that used to come in the workshop, anyway, there's Taka's not a big fan of being in the workshop, but he's sat in the van, do very well. Only a couple of times in all the years have they managed to get a tack or a staple in a paw. It's amazing. I think I've got them stuck in me more often than that. So these seats have been recovered. The fabric that's on there at the moment, this green sculpted chenille that's on here currently, is a second cover. You'll see when we get underneath it, it had a, what I can presume is a very dark, possibly even just a black silk. That would look lovely done back in a black silk now, but that's not what the customer has opted for. They've gone for something quite similar to what is on there currently. A green polyester sort of Prince of Wales stripe. Not an ugly fabric, but I think they would have looked nice in the black silk, or even if they were willing to go to the expense of having a horsehair fabric on it, which I think is still available from a company, if memory serves me well, called Boydens. I could be wrong though. Anyway, I'm waffling. That's 2 of the 4 sides done. I'm just getting the nails out. So everything's got to come out, because underneath here it's been recovered once, and it wasn't, the webbing was not changed, or the bottom cloth was not changed when it was last reupholstered. It may not have needed doing at the time, or the person may have not been willing to pay for somebody to strip the seat out in its entirety. Who knows? Anyway, I've got to do it because the seats are collapsed now and the webbing is deteriorated. I could just fill the void with felt to get the seats flat and a bit of a dome on them again, but that's not a proper job, is it? So when we get to that point, you'll see the traditional black and white webbing. So anyway, right, so we'll just skip through this bit. I'll continue taking these studs out, and I'll come back to you when I've got this green cloth off of the top, and I'll show you what these chairs were originally covered in. So we'll be back shortly. Like I said, that didn't take too long. We've got to the point where we've got the old black cloth. Well, it's silk, but I'm starting to think it might have actually been pink once upon a time. I don't know. But anyway, I think the silk would look nice back on these, possibly with a matching dark braid, gimp, or back with the nails again. So this has got to come out. So this is next. So there you go. So now we've got to the white felt, cotton felt underneath it, and the horsehair. There'll be a small or thin layer of horsehair. Seats back in the day did not have a lot of padding on them at all. Let's get that out. We're going to reuse that. we'll add a bit of Lux Bond onto it. So this cotton felt, and there's the horsehair on the back. Put that to the side there. Let's get the rest of this out. So, yeah. So it's been covered twice in its life, or at least twice, should I say. I think it is only twice, to be honest. We're just revealing underneath here. We've got the canvas on top of the webbing, which a lot of manufacturers you find won't do with modern furniture. They won't put a canvas on, they'll just put foam straight on top of the webbing. Decent quality canvas. And then we've got the black and white, or English webbing, sometimes referred to on here. It's generally a cotton based webbing. If I'm lucky, I should be able to just prise a lot of the webbing off. That one snapped. And lift the nails out with it. So all this now got to come off, as you've seen on the ones I've already done, to get it to that standard. Some of it is tearing, some of it is coming out. There you go. So they've got approximately, it's all done by tacks, different size tacks. To hold the webbing on, they've used what looks like possibly 13mm tacks. And then for the actual upholstery, it's 10mm smaller tacks. We're not going to be tacking it on, obviously. Well, not obviously. I would be tacking it on if the customer had asked for it to all be done traditionally. We've just been asked to use traditional fillings. Which will be the felt going back in, or the original horsehair and felt going back in. Bottom cloth off. So the bottom cloth is the first thing to go on this particular job. Now, I'm going to do these chairs without a bottom cloth on them, because I want the client to be able to see the new webbing up from the underside, which was quite common practice anyway. So that's how I'm going to do it. So it'd be the webbing and then the canvas, not the bottom cloth. Webbing and canvas in that order. Okay. So now I've just got to get all these nails out. get all these nails out around here, nice and clean frame to start with, and then we'll put it back together. This is a tack lifter. It's got a prong, a bit like a foot. You can see that. Okay. So it slides either side of the nail, and then you just lever it up. I've seen plenty of upholsterers that don't bother with cleaning the frames up like this. They'll just go over the top, but to be honest with you, it's not something I would do. It makes my life easier with the upholstery, and I get a better finish if I'm starting from scratch. Try and get them all out. Maybe one or two that I miss, or that they get so buried into the wood, I'll do more damage trying to dig them out than just leaving them. These little chairs are a relatively straightforward project for somebody to do at home with minimal tools. Wouldn't even necessarily need a stapler to do these, just the tacks and a hammer. But I could say that about any job, couldn't I, really? You could have a go at anything. It's the quality you get from getting somebody like myself to do it. October and I've still got hay fever. What is going on? I'm going to have to sharpen my tack lifter. It's getting a little bit blunt and therefore difficult to get underneath the tacks. Well, That's why we have padded benches. Front edge to go. So fortunately I've got the fabric here for these, so I can carry on with these whilst I'm still waiting for cushions to come in today. Get this chair done. Excuse me sniffing. Hay fever's making its presence known. That, and it could be the dust from these chairs. Some little gimp nails here. Would have been used to hold the original braid on perhaps. A bit small really for attaching the cover. Especially as it's silk, they would have potentially just gone straight through the silk. But I think they may have been on there to hold the fabric or the bottom cloth on. Right. So that's that one stripped. 1, 2, 3, 4. Undone to our cat. Seats stripped. Now, lovely chunky frames on these, and I don't know if you can quite see the back here. I think the lighting's not good enough to be able to see, but there's a lovely light wood inlay on these backs here with a little dimple at the top. They would have been very obvious initially when the chairs were made, but the sun has bleached them, and so they're quite hard to see now. I'm not even sure repolishing would make them stand out more because the wood is bleached. So that's them 4 stripped. It's time for me to put the kettle on, and then we're going to web these up. Once they're webbed and canvassed, I will then touch up the polish work where necessary before I put the felt and top cover back on them. No point in doing it just yet, just in case I damage it. I also need to sweep the floor. So, back in a bit then. Okay, so I've had my cup of tea. Let's start getting these webbed up. First off, black and white webbing. English webbing tends to have a stripe for it, but this is just black and white webbing. So let's get this on. Need my webbing strainers. 3 webs, front to back, side to side. I'm going to put some slightly longer staples in this for the webbing, just to make sure we get good penetration into this wood, bearing in mind this wood has got a lot of holes in it from the existing upholstery. Oh, yeah, mate. Forgot to put my compressor on. Now I've got to wait for that to charge up. So in the meantime, black and white webbing. Some fabric for canvas. Just cut that into 4. Okay. Let's see if we can't get this done now. So we'll get these up to top cover. Before lunch, and then so need a bit of wood to protect this polish work here. Let's cut a bit of scrap timber, so I'm not putting this edge on here. It works as a lever onto the polished wood and denting it. Fold it back, staple it well in from the edge of the show wood. I want to keep everything nice and neat because this is going to be visible from the underside of the chair. Three front to back, 3 side to side now, and these are woven through. So we'll do the centre one first. again, protect that show wood. So I got my back to him. Let me turn the chair around. There you go. So last web, go on. Nice and tight. Oh, do that again. If you was just to do it hand tight, you can imagine how quickly this web would slacken off. Nice tight. Put that out there for now. All right, canvas time. Well, as you well know, if you watch this channel enough, you use fabric remnants. So keeping it back from the edge, the show edge, we want to keep that nice and clean because we've got to nail along there. So folded the back edge over and stapled it. Same with the front edge now. Pulling the canvas tight as I go. Don't want creases in it, because again, this is seen from the underside of the chair, and I will show you once it's done the underside of the chair. Got a staple bent up there. Let's get that out before it sticks in my hand. Or worse still, if the customer sits on the chair, well, it's only got one place to go, isn't it? That'd make you get off the chair quick, wouldn't it? And possibly phone up the upholsterer and complain. So there you go. We'll get that out there. So fold them over, adds strength to the canvas. using 10mm staples now. Don't need the longer ones for the canvas. There you have it. I'll trim that bit off. Just because it looks untidy. And there's the underside of the chair. Hopefully you can see that. Okay. So we're not going to put a bottom cloth on it or anything, because someone will be able to see the upholstery work done on it. So next is the old hair to go back in. I'm going to trim that up so I've got nice straight lines. So okay, front to back, trim the sides up. There you go. So I'm happy with the shape of that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this to a bit of this 9-ounce Lux Bond. So I'm going to glue this to a bit of this 9-ounce Lux Bond and then cut the Lux Bond to the same size as that, and then glue it to the seat. Okay, so turn that over there for a second. Right, now we'll trim the Lux Bond to match top. Again, I don't want to be stapling this and bringing it any further to that edge, because we don't want to be interfering with the show wood. We want to keep a nice clean, crisp edge, and then we can fold the fabric back if necessary, which I think it will be with this particular fabric. We'll see when we get there. So there's our sandwich. We've got the horsehair, the cotton felt, and then we've got some Lux Bond, the 9-ounce, to give it some padding. So just a bit of glue in the centre. It's only to hold it in place. Once the cover's on, it's not going to move anywhere. So we don't need to get carried away with the gluing. Make sure I get it central, because I'm going to get one shot at that. There we have it. Okay. So, 3 more to go. And then I'm going to give the polish work a little wipe over with some shellac, just to where there's any damage on it, not necessarily by myself, but normal wear and tear from that thing. And then we'll be back to put the top cover on. So I'll get these 3 prepped and we'll be back soon. And I need to charge the battery. Okay, back soon. Hey, so sofa's done. You can see it behind me here. It looks very nice. It's got very thick cushions on the seat at the request of the customer, because I've done their wing chairs like it, so I think it just makes it easier for them to get in and out of. The back cushions are no longer sipped onto the frame, so they can be removed and washed and turned around if necessary, if they get damaged. Exactly the same as the seats. Not that they expect them to, but it's precautionary. So there you go. Let's have a look. All done for so I think they're going to be very pleased. I've got to drop that off tomorrow and get on with these dining chairs. So back on with these dining chairs. You'll have I'd sort of started them when I was doing the 3-seater sofa, because I was waiting for cushion fill. So there's been a little bit of a delay, just a few days, but you won't notice that in this video. So I'm going to crack on with this. You'll be up to date with what we're doing. I've done 3 already. I've got the fabric cut now. Ta-da! And this is going to be the centre line here, this one here. So let's get on with that. So start off at positioning it at the back. Going to fold the cover back on itself about 1/2 inch or so. I'm going to staple that at the back, just a few millimeters from the edge of the polished wood. I'll show you a bit more in detail when we come to do, or when I come to do the nailing. I'll get a close up, you can see what we've done. So just trimming this back a little bit. We don't need all this excess here. But what I do need to do is mark the centre at the front. So let's just get that marked. Okay, a little pen mark there just so we can get the centre line positioned right. Fold the fabric back, ease it forward with the palm of my hand. A couple of staples there. Right, so back towards the back edge. Fold the cover. This is a bit more. Fold the cover. Don't want to be pulling it towards the side too much. We've got stripes. We've got to keep stripes nice and straight. Same with the other side. Laying the fabric on, easing it across. We don't want to be trying to stretch it, because that'll cause our stripe to go wonky. So towards the front now. Ease the fabric to the front edge. Couple of staples there. Along this front edge. A few millimeters from the edge of the show wood, because we're nailing this. We're folding the cover back. We could do it without folding the cover back, or I could do it without folding the cover back and just cut the fabric with a sharp knife. But I find it's good practice to do it folded, you get a stronger fixing, and you're not going to have any frayed fabric underneath the nails to show. So now the sides. So I'm going to cut the fabric back so we have about an inch or so to fold under. Not entirely sure whether you can see what's going on. Let's just move that across a bit. So I'm going to start with the back left hand corner. And that fold the fabric and ease it towards the front. These chairs have been upholstered a few times now, so there's a lot of holes along this edge. Sometimes it can be hard to get a fix in. But persevere with it. Got to get the chairs done. We will overcome, or I will overcome anyway. Right, so that's one side done. Let's try moving the camera so you can see me doing the other side. Okay, let's carry on with this then. Oop. Off it. So same as did the other side, going to trim the fabric. Start at the back edge, so folding everything as I go. Fold the cover, easing it down with my hand, see where it's going to go. Front corner, going to have to cut the fabric out here. Get too lumpy. That's a little dart in it, so it goes around this leg here. Bit fiddly. Like so. Right. That's the cover on. Next is the nailing detail right along here. That's very tricky to do, but I've cut myself a little bit of cardboard so I can hold the staple to get it along here. These 3 edges are okay. It's this back edge here that can be a bit tricky to do. So these are loose nails, individual nails. You can get strip nails. I'm not a fan of strip nails. I will pick that one up because I paid for it. I'm going to use it. Strip nails always remind me of pub seating. So I've done a lot of furniture with loose nails, so it's not a biggie. Let's do it. So I'm running that space here to get my fingers. So I'm a little bit of cardboard. It allows me to hold the nail, get it started, and pop it in. And yes, it's not a very good example, was it? But there you go. That's what we have to deal with. And so on, right along the back edge. I think you can actually buy a plastic tool for this to aid, but this works just as well. It's only this back edge that I need to do it with. When I do the rest of it, it's not an issue. So the nails are touching. Each other, and you get as many nails in as you get in. You may have to adjust a little bit on the last few staples, spacing. But hopefully my camera battery holds out and I can show you that. What I mean by that anyway. Doesn't all take as long as it does doing it like this. This is only because I can't get my hands in there to do this. If I was left-handed, I might be able to. So you'll be able to see though, the reason why I fold the cover back rather than cutting it, because you're stapling very close to the edge of the fabric, which weakens it. It could pull through. Oh, that one just doesn't want to go in. There must be a staple or something underneath there. The angle's not working. Just keep going. The fabric is very close to the edge. And under tension, it could pull away from the staples. Having folded the fabric back and then stapled it, it's a lot stronger. And far less likely to do that. So I'm going to start bringing the staples, nails even, from the other end across. So we end up having to space out a little bit there in the centre. Up against the wood it's less obvious if we need to. If I need to. Habit of throwing a wee all the time. I'm not even royalty. A little bit cardboard's already done 3 chairs. It's getting a bit tired now. So I keep going till I get to a point where I think it's roughly 3 or 4 nails. That is approximately that gap, about 4 nails now. So we'll put this 4th one in here. Put a nail in the middle on one either side. Hopefully they fit. It looks like it may be a bit tight, but oh dear, I've caught me a bit of cardboard. So not tapping this nail completely home just yet, so I'll get the nails in either side. This one's got a big gap. I'm guessing you can see just see the top of my head then. There you go, sorry about that. Right, that last gap there is going to be very snug. Get the last nail in. There you go. Okay, so nail down these edges. Don't need me bit of cardboard now. Okay, so I'll just carry on with this. Shouldn't take long now, and I'll come back to you when the chair's done. You can see the finished chair. Back soon. So, done. There you go. Nailing detail around the edge here. All done. And the bottoms with the web and canvas. So, set chairs ready to go back to customer. That's our next, or my next project. So I'm going to be ripping that up and doing that in the next video. So that's about it. And as always, these videos are only meant to be showing you what's going on in the workshop, not meant to be instructional. But if you pick up some hints and tips,